everybody, welcome back to Flower Girl. Today I contributed to my local farmers market and I sold 2 different types of cookies as well as some scones. And I thought it would be a nice idea to share with you the recipe that I used for the scones today. They were really good, and I've got a couple tips and tricks in this video to help your scones come out really fluffy, buttery, and delicious. I've got 3 different types. We've got plain scones, delicious, classic, perfect with butter or clotted cream and some jam. And then we've got blueberry scones. You can use fresh blueberries, you can use frozen blueberries. You can really add anything that you want into this scone recipe. You can add cinnamon, more sugar, less sugar. And then the 3rd type that I did today was cheddar scones, a delicious sweet and savory cheddar cheese scone, super melty and perfect if you want to add butter or some, ham and cheese, put it in the microwave and have this delicious sandwich. So I don't want to talk too much and keep you from the recipe, so let's just get right into it. Alright, so we're going to start off with a large bowl and go ahead and add 4 cups of all-purpose flour to the bowl. Now, a tip that I recommend is to mix and match your flours. You can add some whole wheat flour, you can add some spelt flour. I did 1 cup of spelt flour and 3 cups of all-purpose flour or pastry flour. Both work. Now, I just added in 1/2 cup of sugar. We're also going to add in 1 teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of baking powder. It's a lot of baking powder, but it's going to help the rise for these scones, make them super fluffy. Now whisk this all together until thoroughly combined, and we're going to move on to the wet ingredients. So for the wet ingredients, you're going to want to start out with 1 cup of either milk, half and half, or cream. You can choose either. This is whole milk. And then add to that 2 whole eggs. We're just gonna whisk these wet ingredients together until nicely combined, like shown. Now you're going to want to add in 2 sticks of cold and sliced butter. And using a pastry cutter, you're going to want to cut the butter into the flour until the texture of the flour is like a coarse meal. I didn't really show it well in the video, as you can see, but after that, you're going to want to add in the wet ingredients to the flour, the dry ingredients, and then you're going to gently stir this together until it combines and forms a dough. Now, don't overmix this. You want it to be, again, really fluffy scones, so you don't want to form too much gluten. Now, I'm separating the dough into 3 bowls so that we can have our 3 separate flavors of scone. If you want just plain scones or 1 flavor of scone, you don't have to do this. But again, I have the cheddar and the blueberry and the plain scones. Now, to this first bowl, I'm adding in, I just eyeballed the amount of blueberries, but I'm adding some frozen blueberries. You can use fresh blueberries if you want. The frozen blueberries kind of add a nice blue color, to be honest, so I kind of liked that. The second bowl I added in, again, I just kind of eyeballed about like 1/2 cup of chopped cheddar cheese. I used the real good cheddar cheese, aged 3-year cheddar cheese, really good. And yeah, again, about like 1/3 cup or 1/2 cup of blueberries, 1/2 cup of cheese, and then the plain, I didn't add anything. Next, you're going to cover the dough with some plastic wrap. We're gonna pop these in the fridge either overnight or for 30 minutes. I made these the night before I sold them, so I put them in the fridge overnight. This is gonna help to relax the gluten, cool down the butter so that you get a nice and buttery scone. And so yeah, the next day or 30 minutes later, you're gonna wanna flour your surface, a clean surface, and put your dough on the flour and make sure that it's really nice and floured, especially if you use frozen blueberries like I did. The blueberry dough is going to be very sticky, so you are gonna wanna use a lot of flour for that. Then grab your cookie cutter or, a knife or whatever you've got to cut out your scones. You can do whatever shape you want. The traditional shape is the one that I have here in the video, or a lot of people use a triangle shape for their scones. I really like this circle shape. So I've got my plates here of the cheddar, blueberry, and plain scones. And then I just have a parchment lined baking sheet ready and prepared. My oven is preheated to 425 degrees. And yeah. Before you put them in the oven though, grab a little bit of milk and a little bit of vanilla extract for the either plain or the blueberry, the more sweet scones. Add a little bit of vanilla so that you can brush this milk on the top and it'll have a nice vanilla essence as well as a nice moist top as it bakes, and it's going to get nice and golden brown. You can use cream, half and half, whole milk, and we're going to put these in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes, 425 until just golden brown, like so. These are the blueberry scones. And this is the final product. You can see I've got the plain, the blueberry, and the very crispy cheddar. And I wrote some signs for selling them at the farmer's market. I've got my cookies over there. These are the cookies, the walnut chocolate chip cookies. These are the plain chocolate chip cookies. And then of course the scones. It was so fun to make these and to sell them, and I sold out really quickly. And I'm so grateful for everybody who bought some cookies. It was really fun. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something about scones while watching this video. I hope you try the recipe and let me know how you like it down in the comments below. Ciao!